Yeah, really. Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master for this evening. With me tonight, we have the usual crew of rebel scum that make up our Star Wars Force and Destiny campaign. This is Star Wars Force and Destiny and Star Wars Edge of the Empire and Star Wars Age of Rebellion, all three role-playing games published by Fantasy Flight Studios. We'll do some quick introductions, and then we will get down to some Star Wars. We'll go, guys, in the order of reporting.
I am Vendry, Duro Spy. I work for the Rebellion, but yeah.
Nice. Next.
I'm Jeff. I'm playing Oddball, or ODD1B. He is a droid saboteur.
Brett?
I'm playing Brett. I guess I'm playing Dash Vega. I am playing a Sentinel Shadow, and I work for the Hutt or the Alliance.
Brent, do you happen to do you want to scoot over to your left just a touch?
Oh, sorry, I'm on a screen.
Hey, there we
Is
go.
that better?
That's awesome. Thank you. Dave.
I will be playing Pash, who is basically the mirror image of Han Solo, just sexier. He's the designated pilot for the group, man about town, and generally just reckless.
Nice. And coming in from Oz, Steve-O.
Yo, I'm playing Oscara, a Twi'lek bounty hunter, looking for his sister Makara, and seeking a little bit of revenge on some slave traders in the desert.
And Steve is being good enough. The rest of us are calling in from somewhere in North America. Steve is joining us from tomorrow in Australia.
Moorland.
Moorland.
Do you see the future?
Yes. Okay, so
The future.
with those introductions done, guys, let's go to the crawl. A glimmer of hope in a darkening time. After meeting with antiquarian Lor San Tekka on the devastated world city Terrace, a small band of rebel agents travels to meet Asher Sungazer, a scholar living on the factory world of Eriadu, who claims to have evidence of the long-lost Jedi Order. Unbeknownst to these brave heroes, the devious Toydarian mechanic Balco, aware that the sinister crime lord Timo the Hutt has a price on the head of ace pilot and smuggler Pash, has informed the vengeful Hutt where Pash can be found. Bounty hunters from across the galaxy travel to the crossroads of the Hydean Way and the Rimma trade route, hoping to claim the bounty, but none more so than the merciless Trandoshan slaver, Captain Trex. The camera pans
Hey, Kev.
down. Yep,
What is the bounty on Pash's head right now?
a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You
Is
can't turn me
Oscar-
in, Brent.
How much conflict is it for turning him in?
Well, let's just put it this way. Every time so that the report comes up, Oscara calls a crew-wide meeting to discuss it.
I just got text, guys.
Okay, so the camera pans down, and what we see is the ochre-colored or rust-colored disc that is the Crate Fang, zooming through space, and beneath it is this sort of like grayish pink world that seems to be the sun is just coming, or this side of the world is just turning to face the sun, so it looks like it's sort of dappled in sunlight. From above, it looks like a beautiful, almost pink lozenge. As you hit the atmosphere and you begin sort of, the thing starts rumbling and you are going down, one of you maybe comments on this as well too, which one of the others repeats that, of course, what you're seeing outside is not clouds, It's smog. Did we roll? So when we rolled the knowledge checks about Eriadu again last session, but it's worth repeating just so you know. So Eriadu is an active trade center on the Outer Rim. It is a factory world in the same kind of way that like Coruscant or Terrace were world cities, an entire world dominated to manufacture. The world is also situated at the conflux or the meeting point of two of the major trade routes that cut across the galaxy. The Hydean Way, which you've been following all the way since Terrace, and the Rima trade route. You also know that Eriadu is located in the Siswana sector. It is host to over 20 billion souls, mostly humans, living under a miasma of haze and smog from the rampant rampant pollution. It's farts. It's a planet of farts. Its government of 5 noble houses resides in its capital, Eriadu City, presided over by a planetary governor. Its primary spaceport is the city of Philar, and Philar is where you're headed. The planet's industry focuses primarily on manufacturing, computer technology. That's a comma after that too. So it's manufacturing and computer technology and droids and servicing the Imperial dry dock in orbit. You probably can see in orbit as you pass the skeletal frame of what will one day be a mile-long Star Destroyer. The whole planet chokes on class inequities or inequalities. Power politics, wealthy, titled families, and bureaucratic corruption dominate day-to-day life on Eriadu. The spaceport city of Philar's primary university holds a massive collection of artifacts called the Archive, located on the Philar University campus. The Archive possesses a surprising amount of security and only allows accredited scholars to entry. The Archive has made Philar a more diverse city, with all manners of species coming and going. The late Grand Moff Tarkin, none of you guys rolled this, but just for players' interest, Grand Moff Tarkin, who went kaboom with the Death Star, he is originally from Eriadu and is seen as sort of a what do you call it? Local boy done well. So you may recall from last session that what Lord Santeca had provided you was something to sort of not only pique Asher Sungazer's interest, but also to sort of prove your bona fides to him, was a detailed holo scan of the outside of a the outside of a holocron that is purportedly owned by an ancient Jedi named Corso Riggs. What he's also said is that in order to meet up with Asher, you need to gain access to the Archive, and you're not gaining access to the Archive unless you have identification proving that you are accredited scholars, that you've got some kind of university or college or some institute of higher learning credentials. You have had quite some time in terms of how long you have been traveling. You're essentially kind of traveling across the galaxy. So I believe it takes you about 3 weeks. Let me double check that. Which means that you're going to have a lot of time on board to, for one, get used to the smell of Trandoshan, and two, to work out a sort of plan as to what you plan to do. Yeah, it's about, I'll say about 2 weeks. So you had 2 weeks to sort of kill to either contact other people or put together sort of a plan. For those of you, what will be expected is to turn over what are called identichips. Identichips are essentially the Star Wars equivalent of ID. So many of you are aware of my kind of pet peeve of space or sci-fi things unnecessarily calling things futuristic names, like calling watches chronometers. Star Wars is the one exception to that pet peeve. I really don't. I don't give a shit. They can call things as sci-fi as they want. So the identichips, you can forge them if you make a computer check. Or you can, with an easy check, you could maybe try and purchase them with an easy streetwise check. Or if you've got some other plan as to how you kind of want to get across this. One other, sorry, one second here, Brent. One other wrinkle is that as you were going in, Oddball, there is a, what do you call it? Basically, so there is a plan that's come through from Rebel headquarters. Once you sort of reported where you were going, the Brain Trust at the Alliance fleet came up with a what do you call it? Basically, a algorithm, a computer algorithm that they want you to introduce somehow to the dry dock facilities that will override the restraining bolts of all droids that are locked into the network.
So we want to implant that into the archives?
Not into the archives. You're gonna have to somehow upload it onto the into the dry docks like memory systems, and this is in the time that you're sort of in or around Ariadu. What the expectation? The what do you call it? All the droids that function for the Empire, like most privately owned droids, are fitted with restraining bolts to prevent them from essentially, doing whatever the hell the droids want to do. What do you call it? Your job, if you can find an opportunity, is to do that. They want to cause a little bit of trouble with the what do you call it? With the dry dock facility. So, while it's very not Star Wars to start off with a lot of talking and planning, those are the two things you guys got to sort of you've had time to sort out, and we're presuming as you're coming down into smog-covered Ariadu that you've got your plan in place. So, what are those plans, guys?
Hey, Kev. Can I use Skullduggery at all to help construct IDs?
No, you can't. Skullduggery is more like pickpocketing or like sleight of hand or things like that.
Okay.
I want to see if I can maybe infiltrate a market and find the black market for buying legit ones.
Legit IDs, yeah. That would be a streetwise check.
Okay.
So, yeah, like if you, why don't you make a streetwise check for me, Cork? The difficulty will be easy, so 1 purple.
1 purple?
Can I assist in that? Or I guess it wouldn't make any difference since it's easy.
Well, hold on. What are your respective? Remember that advantage is always something you want. There's no such thing as too much good stuff.
I'll say I got 4 successes.
Nice. You know what? I'll let you add. Brent, you're actually trained in Streetwise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you, Cork? Why don't you roll a blue as well and see if you get any other successes or advantage?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, another success.
Nice. Okay, so you got 5 successes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So on the plus side, am I right in thinking that? Well, I've got a thing in my mind as to how Vendry sort of tells everyone else. How do you think he tells everyone else, Cork?
He just says that there's less risk involved if you purchase these IDs than if we try to get someone to forge them.
Okay. So what I'm thinking, what I was picturing is that like everyone's sitting around playing Dejak or Sabak or whatever, like in the big thing there, and you're kind of like, okay, so we got to figure out some way, and everyone's sort of spitballing ideas back and forth, and Vendry walks up and just kind of puts down things on the table, says what you just said, and they're like, oh.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Steve-O, you still there, or are you just invisible and quiet?
I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm just trying to cut down on the information here that I'm using up on my bandwidth.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay, so you guys have ID sorted out. What's sort of the plan here, or what is there any other sort of research or legwork you want to do before you arrive?
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
If I may, Pash would have spent a bit of the time in transit trying to get a hold using his underworld knowledge skills and streetwise, trying to touch base with his contacts to try to set up basically a contract for transportation of illicit goods. Specifically, he's trying to look for any contacts who are looking to smuggle any of the artifacts out of the archives.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Why don't you roll I'm going to set that as a hard, so it'll be 3 purples, and then I'm also going to throw 2 blacks in there as well. And I'll tell you why. It's because they basically got you flagged. Like, there's a bounty on you. There were bounty hunters everywhere, and then as soon as your name starts getting bandied around, they're like, wait, who's looking for people? And he's going to go where? So go ahead and make that roll.
Use that light side dice, dude.
What skill?
Skill is streetwise.
Can I either assist, or would it be better to do it in my name?
I'm assuming that your efforts on the trip were spent assisting Vendry.
Okay.
You know what, Kev? Can I? I'm going to use. I think I'm going to take the suggestion and use a light side die for this.
That's an awesome idea. You know what? I'm also I'm going to use a dark side dice too. So why don't you make that 1 red, 2 purple, and 2 blacks? Hey, sweetie.
Say that again, Kev. You kind of cut out there for a bit.
1 red, 2 purples, and 2 blacks. That's because I upgraded one of the purples to a red.
Dang.
Oh, yeah, okay. So what about my light side then?
Well, that means the light side. That means one of your skill points goes from a green to a yellow.
Oh.
You could do it.
Well, we'll see if I can or not. Oh.
That's not a good sound.
That would be one advantage, but it's also coupled with an astounding failure.
Any threat?
No, just one advantage.
It's 1 advantage, and that's it.
And a failure.
And a failure. Okay. So you asking around. What do the rest of you guys want to do? Well, so we know what Patch is doing. We know what Vendry and Dash are doing. What about Oddball and Oscara?
What can we do? Do I need to secure any uniforms here?
Incidentally, I gotta add that on Oddball's ID chip, it lists him as being 2 inches shorter than he currently is.
Love it.
Oddball only says to him that it appears that your math was incorrect, biological.
Kev,
Yeah.
can I step back for a second?
Yep.
I misinterpreted the die, and I don't know that I should. In a fit of honesty, it wasn't actually a failure. It was a despair.
Oh, yeah, you gave a night. Okay.
But I still got the advantage. I got that right.
You still got that right. Okay, so you got an advantage, and you got a despair. Okay. I'll let you know what happens with that despair.
Wow.
Okay, Steve had asked if anyone needed uniforms. What do you guys think?
We try to waltz in there undercover.
Well, it's a university that you're trying to get into, so you sort of turn to look at the lot of you guys. Which of you guys
Right.
look like you're a university student or professors?
No. Okay, so maybe I'll go get some sort of civilian garb or something, fancy. Use some of my credits.
Okay. What do you what is your sort of cover story here? What do you like? What are your like? There's going to be more than just like providing your identichips, likely. So if you want to sort of figure out, this is not Vendry and Dash are both probably quite helpful in like, okay, we've got the, when they check this is what opens the door for us. What allows us to go through is us being convincing as scholars.
Right.
Does maintenance staff have ID chips?
They do, yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe we go in as maintenance staff.
The trouble is, to access the archive, you pretty much have to be you have to be an accredited scholar. It's an extraordinarily high security facility.
Okay.
That's what you found is that, so Pash, as you've been asking about this, you basically been laughed off the hollow channels because they're like, no one steals from there. Are you nuts? Like, I'm looking to fill my hull with as much, or my cargo hold with as much stuff from the archive. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Come on, guys. There's lots of money to be made.
So
Okay.
it is.
So,
We're researching the effect of.
what's that, Steve?
We're researching the effect of slave trading on imperial revenues historically.
Interesting. Okay. Does anyone have lore? No, sorry. It would be knowledge. Outer systems. I think outer rim. Yeah,
Okay.
knowledge outer rim. Hold on, I plug in my. Oh,
But I don't have any ranks in it.
what did I do wrong here?
Like, are you asking if anyone has any ranks in it?
Whoops, sorry guys. Can you try talking again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I plugged my speakers in, and Emmy had turned off my power bar. So, like, why is no one answering? Sorry, anyone who's got anyone who would like actually can make a knowledge outer rim check, and I'm going to set it as a hard, so 3 purples.
Okay.
Kev,
Yeah.
do we all have to be scholars of the same discipline?
Not at all. If there is something that you feel you could convincingly pass off, more than another area, then that'd be fine.
I got a failure, but I'm likely to not really admit that I don't know.
I've all got 3 successes on that.
Okay.
2 successes, 2 bad things. What's it called? Threat. 2
Threats.
threat, 2 successes.
Okay. Pash, how'd you do?
Oh, what are we rolling for?
Knowledge outer rim. Steve-O, how'd you do?
You're intelligent.
So I'm just gonna roll. What do I roll on that one? 2.
Oh, knowledge. So if you're not trained in it, so knowledge outer rim will be just your intelligence.
Okay, which is 2. Right. Difficulty 2, sorry.
Difficulty 3 purple. Hard.
3 purple. All right. And I get a fail.
You fail. Okay. So there's sort of a balance between. Brent, you rolled threat, right?
Yeah, 2 successes, 2 threats.
Okay. So what you guys know is that in terms of the slaving thing, there actually is from thousands of years ago, there was a race called the Zagarians. that were a race of notorious slavers. They were defeated and their empire kind of cast down by the Jedi. However, during the Clone Wars, the Zagarian slave markets reopened. In particular, selling Chagrian and Twi'leks, as well as many other races forced into servitude by the Empire. This is incidentally what a Zagarian looks like.
Did they ever slave Duros people?
Duros don't tend to be, because Duros, the planet, is actually a core world. Like, it's actually the Duros race is one of the oldest hyperspace navigating species in the galaxy.
Okay.
The reason those other ones tend to be sold, like Togruitans and Chagrians and Twi'leks and whatever, is because they're from the Outer Rim. So really, like, if a village or a neighborhood of a city or something like that disappears and is sold into slavery, it's not like the Imperial fleet's right there to respond right away.
Right.
So, yeah, and actually, Steve, I'm going to have some more backstory for you in the coming weeks too, because I'm reading. Okay. There's a novel that was published called it's in their post Disney acquisition new timeline or whatever, or like new canon. It's a novel about set 9 years after the destruction of the Jedi Temple. So 9 years after the 10 years before the Battle of Yavin, and it's about Vader and the Emperor getting stuck on Ryloth, and the other main supporting characters are freedom fighters from Ryloth. Yeah, it's really fucking fun. It's a really fun novel. But anyway, that's what the Zagarians would be if you wanted to be someone who studies, slavery or whatever else. That would be a good species to sort of to hang your sort of thing around.
Okay.
Your fake credentials around is that you're studying the artifacts of the ancient Zagarian empire.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what Oscaro's going to try and pass himself off as. What are the rest of you guys?
I'm going to back up Oscara being the holography historian Vane. Sure, Vane University. Does that make sense?
So this is where you're from?
That's where I'm claiming to be from.
Okay, nice. And you're sort of like a holography expert?
Yep.
Awesome. So how about this? Like you could say that you're helping to reconstruct ancient, malfunctioning. Holography has been a communication method for at least as far back as the Old Republic. Maybe that's sort of how you're, presenting as the guy who helps reconstruct this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Oddball, Pash, and Dash?
I thought Dash was helping with the IDs.
No, but what are you disguising? Presumably, you're not sitting on the crate fang while everyone else goes off and and meets up.
I was gonna just I'll just go with a academic from a different institution, an off-world institution.
Right. No, Brent. What is the specific cover you're going with? That's what we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I know. My cover will be like an academic, like he's
what
accredited specialist
in what field?
Of archaeology.
In what kind of archaeology? What do you think of that? Oddball and Pash, do you guys have cover IDs in mind?
Kev?
Yeah.
Because Pash's two highest skills are piloting and astrogation, he's going to do his best to pass himself off as a scholar studying the historical development of Sagarian slaving trade routes and transportation practices.
Nice. Fits with the other two guys. That's awesome. Okay. Then we have. Did we lose? Oh, we lost Jeff. Hold on. Just notice that. One sec here. Thought that I was doing a head count. I didn't realize we lost Zombade. Brent, so going back to you, how is have you had a
different idea? Doing that sort of historian thing. What if I go as a geologist who studies ancient crystals and gems?
Yes. Yep. Okay. You know what? One of the sort of signature implements that Sagarian slavers have used is an energy whip, and I imagine it's not the same thing as a lightsaber, but it maybe works under a similar sort of, crystal associated, emitter something.
Okay.
Jeff, can you hear us? Can you guys hear Jeff?
I can see. No, he dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in briefly, then he's gone. Let's see here. Okay. So
What did you? Sorry, Kevin. What did you say? I was there to reconstruct.
To reconstruct historically or artifact hollow emitters.
Right.
Okay. And Oscara has helped sort of procure along. The nice thing is that the identichips you maybe have picked up along the way, because the Hydean route is such a long. You've had 2 weeks of things, and you're not going the whole time. You have to stop off and get fuel and whatever. I'm assuming that you've been picking up your stuff as you go. So when you finally arrive on Ariadu, you have the whatever sort of your disguises are going to be. Now, I'll keep inviting Jeff back here until we get him. I don't see. Well, I think he may have emailed me as well.
I'm assuming that we've doctored our chips to have our credentials backed up by our cover stories.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm assuming that what you did is sort of because of the expertise of you or Vendry and Dash. Dash was in training to be kind of the super secret kind of Jedi. The Sentinel, the kinds that don't necessarily, go around and whack people with lightsabers. They, hide in the shadows and whatnot. The sort of, incidentally, Brent, the sort of in the Jedi Code book that I picked up, the story for what the what he calls the Sentinels use in terms of their lightsabers, they use yellow lightsabers. And the response that someone has is well, I've never seen one of those. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, of course you haven't.
All right. And I believe the shadows were a sort of special subsection of them, or in some of the literature anyway.
Yeah, I think just in the game. But. Okay, so we're still missing. Jeez, I don't know what's going on with Jeff's connection here, or if it's his computer. Calm down, honey. Calm down. Go on up. Go on up. Go on up, hon. Go on. Okay, so while we're waiting for. I'm just going to flip Jeff a quick email.
There was some really cool stuff on The Force Awakens visual effects on fxguide.com.
Oh yeah.
They had a bunch of breakdowns of how they did the visual effects, and they show like that Star Destroyer crashed in the sand, and they just kind of pull back and zoom around it and stuff.
Oh,
Kinda
cool.
neat.
You know, we were gonna go see it again this weekend, Jaden and I, but he works. He found out he works all weekend, and now I gotta
Oh,
most of it. Cork, you've seen it just a ton of times, eh?
no, I've only seen it 3 times.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just gotta. Yeah. So Oddball's going to pose as one of you guys, your assistant. Okay, so that sorts out your the idea for your cover IDs and for what your sort of cover story is going to be. You've got disguises. You've got the identichips. Oh shoot! Come here, honey. Sorry. You okay? Let's kick Emmy in the face. How do you guys plan on implementing this sabotage thing or the recruiting thing?
Yeah, I haven't really given that much thought.
Not my problem.
Oddball's a computer guy. I offered to assist him to sneak in or break in somewhere where he can install it. But my computer skills aren't up to.
Does the university have an uplink to the Imperial Dry Dock?
They're likely.
Do they have the equipment to do that?
They may. Yeah, like I can think of 1 or 2 ways where why the university may have an uplink to. Yeah. Why don't you make a make a not Streetwise. What would it be? Let's see. Come here.
Deception?
I think Underworld knowledge.
Knowledge Underworld?
Yeah.
I got just my intelligence in that.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead. It's a average, Chuck.
1 purple?
2 purple. Easy is 1 purple. Average is 2. Hard is 3. What is it? Daunting is 4, and formidable is 5.
Well, I got 2 successes and 1 advantage.
Nice. Great. So, like a lot of what do you call it? Well, one of the things that is a signature bit of the New Order represented by the Galactic Empire is that not only is there right political thought and there is correct military discipline, there also is compliant and non-compliant research and study. So it may not surprise you to learn that the Imperial Intelligence Bureau does monitor the research and the activities on every major university's campus, and Philar University is no different than any of those.
Would they have troops on site?
They would likely have someone who monitors the campus and communications on campus. You may remember that in the message that Jeff, welcome back.
Hey.
You may remember in the message that Asher Sungazer sent to Lor Santeca. He made a comment about how he's sure that the Imperials or the Empire is listening, right? So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, sorry, Asher. In the message that Lor Santeca got from Asher Sungazer, Asher had mentioned, I'm sure the Empire is listening, or something to that effect. That's not, it's what is like. It's not just paranoia on the part of a bookworm. The Empire does monitor that shit pretty closely. and monitors the campus. So because there's someone monitoring campus, that likely means that they're transmitting to somewhere else, which means you gain access to that would be one way in to the Imperial ComNet.
See, what I'm thinking is something like this. You take and you send a message, like an audio message, to the Imperial fleet.
Cork, I just want to tell you, just 1 sec. Because the way you phrase that, this would be the thing where, like, I'm thinking this, and then it cuts to you guys actually doing all the things.
Yeah, so anyways, in this reenactment, we send an audio message to the Imperial Fleet Command telling them that 5 rebels have infiltrated the university, and that we piggyback our virus on the audio message so that they download it into their computer. And then we scramble to get the hell out of there because we've basically given away our position.
Where are we supposed to meet Asher? Do we have to get in the university to meet him, or can we meet him outside of the university?
In order to, you can probably try and contact and try and meet him outside, but A, you're gonna have to prove your bona fides to him, and B, what you need the ID for is to gain access to the archives, and that's where he can't take stuff out of there, like the artifacts that he wanted to show you.
Okay.
No, we'll do is actually, you know what, Brent? That's actually prompted a good idea, which is why not take a look again as you're planning this at Asher's message. And what Asher's message is he flashes up, and I think Brent included a picture of Asher in your in that NPC guide. If you don't want to bother opening it up, this is what Asher looks like.
So he's a dwarven cleric?
Dwarven black dude with dreadlocks, yes. What Asher says is, "Hello, my friend." So he speaks up, and he seems to be talking in this enthusiastic and somewhat, secretive kind of way, or there's another word for it, and it escapes me right now because my brain's fucking fried. Hello, my friend. It's been some time since we last spoke. However, I've come across something that you might find interesting. And the holo message pans out to show various bric-a-brac laid out on examination tables, which Asher is among which Asher is walking. So it's sort of like, showing you this stuff as he's walking around. He pauses in front of a stone talisman, and the holo message zooms in closely, bringing it into sharper focus. He then picks up a stone and tilts it in such a way that tiny veins of color appear on its surface. And in a conspiratorial whisper, he says, "I found this at the archive at Philar University. The crystallization in the stone reminds me of stories about about lightsaber crystals, and the engravings may be several thousand years old. I'd prefer not to speak more here. The Empire tends to censor our communications, but if you can meet me on Ariadu, I can show you this in person. Make sure that you obtain credentials. The relic cannot be removed from the university archive, and you need to be an accredited scholar to gain access to the archive." Not that it'll prove to be a problem for you, I think, Lore. He grins. "Come quickly, my friend. We have much to discuss." And then it flicks out. You probably have seen that message so many times in the course of the last 2 weeks that you could almost repeat it verbatim at this point.
Yeah. So I guess we have to get all the way in. We should send that message if we're going to get that cocky and send the Imperials our location. That should be the very last thing we do.
Yeah, we'll do that last.
I just wanted to point out that Oddball would have went to talk to Vendry about what to do with this sabotage plan that the rebels asked him to complete.
Yeah.
Because he's very new to this, and he doesn't know sort of the ways of the universe at this point, or the systems. So he would have looked for advice, and he would totally go for this plan that Vendry has.
Can I suggest a little role-playing tick, Jeff?
Sure.
Can I suggest, as Vendry's explained the plan, Oddball keeps saying, and that's when we put the explosives in. And you're like, oh,
Right.
no, no, no. And then we're going to go here and this, and that's when we're putting the explosives in. And he's like, no.
Right.
Could I ask a question about the Crate Fang?
Yep.
Does it have one of those little Jedi practice droids on board?
It may, if you like one.
Yeah, I think I just want to bring one with me turned off.
I don't think there is, actually, because I'm assuming in... Oh,
Did that
what?
belong to Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, I think it was Kenobi who brought it on board. The
Okay.
blast shield and whatever else, the helmet with the blast shield on it, that I think was Han's. Though why you would ever have a helmet that, blocks your sight, I don't know.
I think it was,
There's that race that's blind. I forget what they're called.
The Miraluka.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. It's a Miraluka helmet. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so why did you have a plan in mind, Cork, or
I just think it would come in handy.
the training droid? Well, I think that one of the things on Dash's to-buy list is a little floating reconnaissance droid, because Brent's character in the Old Republic adventure had one of those things, and he seemed to really enjoy it.
Cool.
They look really cool.
Okay, so anything else that you hope to achieve between now and when you arrive on Ariadu? Sounds like you got a plan.
Keep a low profile, I think, is the first order of business.
Okay, nice. Alrighty, so we cut back to you guys landing.
Kev, I just wanted to interrupt before we get started. Jeff, you weren't around before. I know you have to upload a computer thing. Dash offers to help you sneak in to wherever you have to upload it.
Okay. Wasn't that what we were talking about with sending out with the message?
No, you have to sabotage something too.
Oh, okay. This is something else.
Amy, calm down.
So you have to take the locks off or the restraining bolts off droids through this program.
Right, through the dry dock.
Yeah. So
But don't you
I'll
have to
help you
sabotage
sneak in.
something too? Or am I reading that wrong?
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is relevant to now, or if you want to do this as a sidebar afterwards. But the loot that I stole from
what's his name?
from Balco
Yes.
before. What was it that I stole, and can I offload it on
What do you call it?
Aradu?
One of the things that you got was the what was it, Sunhawk, whatever the swoop is called, that you got, that modified swoop.
Okay.
And
That's
the
on
dancing
the-
girl.
Oh, damn. It's right on the dash, actually.
Yeah, it's. I think Brent included a picture of it as well.
Yeah.
And I don't remember
No,
offhand-
sorry, I left that. I got to put that in. I just got a silhouette right now.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec here. I can tell you what it looks like. Because this is one of the other reasons why I wanted to try broadcasting from down here, because all the books are down here.
Is that actually your bedroom, Kevin?
Yeah. This is my. I'm broadcasting from. I got the bedroom's big enough, so I've got my. Got a little office set up in here as well.
Nice.
So, to just log in from my office, rather than having to go upstairs and get everything set up there.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess specifically, Kev, what I'm looking for is what was the item that Balco
That's
got
what-
so pissed off about?
That's what your swoop looks like.
That's cool.
Okay. Oh, that. Yeah. You don't know yet. Also,
How do I
you
not
don't
know yet?
Just keep in mind, so like that post credits thing, that didn't. You don't know that Balco's pissed about that. As far as you know, nothing is of particular value in what you took.
Oh, okay.
But we will rest assured that that will come back.
Well, I have no doubt.
Uh-oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh, I lost my sneeze. Damn it. Okay, so as you guys, the last thing that you did know as well, and I'm assuming that you picked them up in the course of going out here, is that Ariadu, because of the smog and whatever else, you're going to want to have respirators on, because if you don't, you will be suffering some severe breathing issues, which will translate into a black die on all brawn and agility-based skills. Yeah.
Can we requisition or happen to have some on board?
Well, Brent, that's what I just said, man. I said I'm assuming you picked them up on the way down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you picked them up on the way. Okay, so as you step off, am I not? Sorry, Brent, I'm not trying to be facetious here. Am I really am I not coming through, or?
No, you're mostly coming through. I'm sorry, I was a little bit off and probably me a bit off. I missed that. I thought.
Okay, guys, did I say that, or am I imagining things?
Sorry?
Right?
The other guys, did I say that, or am I imagining things?
I
Well,
don't
you
know.
often imagine that you said that.
Okay.
I think you said it, but I was kind of like writing things down at the time. Like I knew the gist of it, but I just assumed that we had them. And if we didn't have them, that we could easily get them.
All right. Wait a second. So once we turn off the security bolt on the droids, assuming we succeed, what do we do then?
Well, I'm suggesting that we kind of give away that there's rebels in the university. And then
Okay.
Wait, let's go to the
we have to
university
figure
first
out a way
before we do that.
getting out. We'll talk to the dude first, but we can maybe, figure something out.
All right.
I'm more interested in the rebellion's angle of this virus upload thing, and less interested in the Jedi crystal thing.
What?
No, the rebellion asked Oddball to do it.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna say that Oddball is constantly kind of talking to Vendry about the mission.
Yeah. Did I lose everybody there?
No, we're still here.
I think we've lost Kev. We're all
We're
on
lost
together. Kev's gone.
All right.
No, don't worry about it.
So are you actually looking for one of these crystals then in the archives?
Yeah, I'm totally gonna steal one if we get it, and I'll just deal with the conflict.
Oh, fuck it.
Cool.
Don't even worry
Deal
about
with
it.
the
I'll
conflict.
steal it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Conflict resolved.
You know what? We'll just say that I notice your lustful desire for the crystals.
I'm good at although I get conflict for stuff, I'm good at thieving. I've got 2 points in skullduggery.
Nice.
Fucking just change yourself to a
That
thief.
makes no
I'm not a
sense.
thief. I'm a smuggler. I don't have this.
Does anyone mind if I just go to the dark side?
No.
Do all the stuff that I've got skill points in, and always seems to lead me down that path.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking play that up. I'm gonna tempt you to the dark side. You realize that, right?
If you if you get the crystal, there's a as a smuggler, there's something called the smuggler's pocket. You ever heard of this?
What is it?
No. Do tell.
It's also the same as nature's pocket.
Nice.
No one will ever check there.
Butt plug.
Well, you never know. The Imperials are quite thorough.
It's true. They do have scanning machines, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming in the future it's white gauntlets as opposed to white gloves, but.
Yeah. Are we getting a new chat invite or something that we should?
I have no idea.
He
I
says
just
he's
thought it was
rebooting his
losing people.
computer. That was
Oh,
2
Ken
minutes
sent
ago.
an email saying computer just crashed. He's rebooting.
Yeah, I see that.
So I think once he's up, he'll probably send another invite, and we'll have to log on again.
So we got to figure out a way of, like, once we know the layout of this place, keeping an eye out for, like, detours or stuff that we can use by, say, luring the Imperials into one area while we sneak out of another one.
Well, and I think that's where Brett can probably come in really handy with his skullduggery and shit, because that's kind of what he excels at. So if we kind of make him the patsy, or the wait, that wasn't the right word.
I don't have any deception. What I do have is 2 ranks in skullduggery and a couple ranks in stealth.
Well,
And
that's
streetwise.
that's all you really need is to kind of sneak around and then to redirect their attention when needed. Because I think deception is more when is a verbal skill.
Yeah.
So
But
you're trying to bullshit.
what am I going? I'm providing a ruse for what?
For our getaway, essentially.
Oh, so okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, yeah, I guess I can try something. I'm not really armed.
You don't need to be.
Okay, I'll make something up.
I wonder if we can jerry-rig one of our communicators to broadcast on Imperial channels.
For what purpose, Corey?
To say, oh, the rebels are on level 5 and we're on level 4.
Oh, that's intelligent.
That'll work.
But then we wouldn't be able to. Well, one person wouldn't be able to use their communicator, which is fine. But
They're cheap. I don't understand how we get money in this campaign, but those are really cheap. They're like 25 credits or whatever. Where a lot of things, like a pistol costs like 400 or 500, where like a communicator is like 25.
right. So would that be a computer's check or a mechanics check?
Probably a computer's check.
I've got 1 rank in computers.
I think Jeff's got 2 or 3 ranks in computers.
Oh, we'll
Like
get him to do it.
oddball.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I think his like big thing is computers.
Oh, well, yeah, we can totally get him to see if he can do that. Actually, that's what I like about this group. It's a really diverse mix of skill sets and interests.
Yeah, man.
You pretty much